Hi everyone, we have the chance of a snowstorm to start out 2018, and this is my first video on it. I think it is time to do a video. The threat is there. Here is your southern piece that's going to be creating the storm. That's ingredient number one. And then here is the piece of energy that is going to guide it either up the coast or out to sea and phase with it at the same time. When that phasing happens, you're going to have rapid strengthening, what we call bomb cyclogenesis, rapid strengthening of the low pressure system. Now, I'm going to just go back a couple of days here, because notice that you have this trough. This is important, coming in on Sunday, and this trough is going to deliver the Arctic air. Another shot of reinforcing Arctic air. So as that moves out, now you have cold air in place, and it's a really strong cold air mass all in here. Everybody is in the cold air mass. Okay? And once again, here is the piece of energy that creates the storm. Here's the northern piece that's going to guide and phase with it. So pay attention to these two pieces of energy as we move along. This is Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and Wednesday afternoon. So now the phasing has happened. Your southern piece is here. This is where your storm is. And there is a connection here to this main trough. But there's a problem. Notice how this trough is oriented from northeast, trying to draw this, to southwest. That is a positive tilt. And this is bad because when you have a positive tilt, the flow out ahead of it is more westerly. And so that the storm is driven more out to sea rather than up the coast. So we do not want that. At this point, I would like the trough to have a neutral tilt, which would look like that, north to south. So we'll see what happens with that. So let's just keep going. Watch this. I think this phasing has to be stronger too. This phasing is not that strong at this point in time. Notice how your southern piece of energy is still kind of hanging around out on the eastern side of the trough. It's not really that phased. It's not phased that well. But anyway, that's where your storm is, where I just indicated. So now let's head to overnight and Thursday morning. Again, notice how your piece of energy, this is where the storm is, it's just sort of hanging out on the eastern side of the trough rather than strongly phased together. And now you have a neutral tilt, which is good. However, at this point, I would like the tilt to be negative. I think right now this trough is going negative too late. At this point, I would want the tilt to be more like that, oriented from northwest to southeast. Because if you have that neutral tilt, then guess what? This, instead of going like that, is going to go like that, right? Up the coast. So that's one thing. And then I really want stronger phasing here. Now watch, the pieces of energy do phase. See that? See that? They just phased right there. This is Thursday afternoon. And now you see the closed contours. That's your rapid strengthening of your upper level low. You have bomb cyclogenesis going on, but look where it is. It's all the way out here. It's all the way out here, east of the 40 north, 70 west benchmark, which is sort of like here. So not only that, but you have a westward tilt with height, so your surface low is even further east. So I would like this phasing to happen earlier. I'd like see, now you have a negative. Sorry, that was a really bad drawing. You do have this negative tilt starting by Thursday evening, but I would like this tilt to happen earlier, maybe Thursday morning or Wednesday night, because right now, to me, this looks more like a glancing blow rather than a big East Coast snowstorm. So if this was to happen, if this scenario where the trough goes negative a little too late and the phasing happens a little too late, then your threat area would be something like this. It would just be confined right along the coast. New York City would be on the western edge. Hartford would be on the western edge. I think even it would be more like this, right along the coast. I think Western Mass would be out of it. Just coastal Vermont and down East Maine here would be in it, if this was where the upper low ends up closing off and being that far east. But it's early in the game. I think there is room for this trough to go negative a little earlier. So I'm going to paint a threat area right now. And I am going to start this threat area down, yeah, that's too far south. No, not really. If that trough goes negative earlier, then Baltimore, Washington, D.C. are on the western edge. State College, I think you're too far west at this point, so I'm not going to put you in the threat area. I'd bring it right up into Albany, and then right up into all of Maine, Nova Scotia, of course. So right now, this is my threat area. But for the western points, west of this line that I'm drawing now, so right now, east of that line, you're in it. You're in it for the bigger snow. But west of this line, that trough has to go negative earlier. And that phasing has to happen earlier. So now what I want to do is I just want to show the surface map so I can show you what I mean by glancing blow. I gotta turn off the pen tool. Okay, hold on, let's go back a little bit. Okay, so here's Wednesday afternoon. Your storm is down here. Let's move along. Let's look at all that rain coming up. And then you see you start to get some snows breaking out across eastern North Carolina back in here, right along the coast. And alright, and then the other thing to notice here, that is actually, let's go back even further. This is 994 millibars. Watch how that number drops. 980 in 6 hours. It has dropped 16 millibars. 14, excuse me. Go ahead another 6 hours. You're down to 968. Another 6 hours. You're down to 957. That is a really strong-ass storm. But look where it is. It's all the way out here. You have a 957 low all the way out east, way, way east of the 4070 benchmark. You definitely want this to be at least here. What is that, like 100, 150 miles further west? That's where you want this low. You don't want it to be too close so that the warm air comes on in, but you want it to be close enough that you get all this heavy precipitation in here. This is heavy precip. Eastern Long Island, Boston, the Cape is getting pretty jiggy right there with the heavy snow. Okay, so you definitely want that to be further west. But see what I mean by glancing blow? It's only right along the coast. Right in here. So this would be Thursday into Thursday night down in, by the way, notice 9:50 now. Thursday into Thursday night in here. Thursday night into Friday up here. Okay? So this is a Thursday into Friday storm. You could get some snows down in here Wednesday night across North Carolina and Virginia, probably closer to the coast, depending on how quick that phasing happens. Okay, so that's the video for today. I'll draw my thread area one more time. Okay, that is my thread area. So Baltimore and DC, you're on the western edge of this thread area. State College, you're too far west. Albany, I have you on the northern end. Hartford, you're in it. Boston, you're in it. New York City, Long Island, you're in it. All of Maine. But if this low takes the current track that the models are suggesting, it's going to be more like this. New York City on the western edge, and it's going to be confined to the coast here, and it won't be a blockbuster storm. It'll be more like a 4 to 8, or at least under a foot. But if this can come further west, it could be a pretty big storm. So let's keep an eye on this over the next few days and see if we can get that trough to go negative earlier. Alright, thank you for watching.